So, welcome everyone to this podcast episode. Paola and I haven't seen each other for about a month, and we're here today to talk about her transformation and improvements with rheumatoid arthritis. She's been part of our transformational coaching service during that time, and it's a real exciting moment for me to now not be talking to her about all her problems and so on, but talking about how far that she has come. And so we started with a discovery call, let's call it 6 months ago, roughly, and talked about where she was at. And then her recent updates have been so great, I've invited her on to share today. So, Paola, welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't we start with a quick before and after, just to start us off, before we get into your background and the problems you were going through and stuff. Just take us back before with the problems that you were having when we first spoke, and then describe those, and then how you are today sitting here.
Well, I was bad. I was really bad. I had a lot of pain. Even before I got a diagnosis, I was in a lot of pain for years. I spent 3 years trying to get the right diagnosis, uh, which was awful because I didn't know what to do or how to react to it. I couldn't move. My neck was super stiff. My shoulders were like this all the time. My hands started to hurt. And to be honest with you, it wasn't until someone said to me, "You have inflammation," that I said, "Wait, what?" Because we see ourselves every day and we don't notice the little things. But someone told me that, and I asked the doctor, and they were like, "Well, yes, you do have a little bit of inflammation," but they didn't take it seriously at the beginning. So I had pain. My joints started to hurt. I'm not gonna lie about that. My knees started to hurt, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't move. I couldn't. I was walking very funny. I was, yeah, I was just walking like an old lady. I couldn't jump. I couldn't like even like sit straight. My feet started to hurt as well. It was just painful because I was always this like a very healthy person, and out of nowhere I got this. So after I got my diagnosis and all that, and I finally, well, knew what it was, and we found your program, and we started working on it. I feel great now. Like, honestly, I'm able to play again. I've been playing a lot. I've been playing gigs, a lot of gigs. I've been playing piano again, which is awesome, something that I couldn't do before because at some point my fingers got stuck and I was like, well, I guess this is it. I'm not going to be able to play anymore. And now I'm just playing. Like, honestly, I don't have any pain whatsoever on my hands, knees, and my feet. That no pain whatsoever, which is great. I'm also working out. I'm swimming. I'm doing bike. I'm playing basketball as well. I'm actually, I forgot to tell you this, but I started to play drums again.
That is awesome, because
Yes.
at the end of our conversation, I'm going to bring up the 6-month goal list that you and I created during our first one-to-one call together. And
Yeah.
we're going to go through that at the end and tick off how many you've actually achieved. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad were you, do you think, when we began? So, like, if 10 was like, oh, this is sucks so bad. And then how are you today?
It was a big 10. It was a big 10. It was completely bad. There were days when, like I say, I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed. I had no energy. I had no My heart was always racing. I couldn't. For me, it was a 10. I will say that it was a 10. Now, I mean, you've seen, I told you about the charts. So I feel like I have no pain whatsoever. So like me on that side, I have no pain. So I will say probably my pain is around like one. Sometimes like, if I get too bad, it goes to three. But from 10 to 3 is like a big difference. I'm like here. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I have it under control. Even if it hurts, I have it under control. It's nothing that I cannot handle. It's something that I'm like, oh, I'm having a bad day today. I can just rest a little bit and it's gonna go away in like a couple of hours. You know what I mean? It's not bad. Before I couldn't even get out of bed for days. Like, yeah. So
Mm.
I'll say it's a big improvement.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge. Now, what about the medication side of things? You were taking medications. Can you walk us through your journey with that and where you at the moment?
Well, yes, I can tell you I had a bad time with meds. I didn't work on meds. I tried the first one. I mean, I tried three different meds. One, two, three. Three. Yes, three different meds. None of them worked for me. Sadly, they gave me a bunch of anxiety. They gave me digestive issues. And well, me and my husband, we decided this is it. We are not going to try meds anymore. We are going to just do what we're doing in the program. Like, just keep the program. We'll see what we do. And then after 6 months, no, more, 7 months. It was 7 months, I think. Yes. Whenever I had my last appointment with the rheumatologist, she was like, well, there's no inflammation. What's the point on giving you more meds? So I'll say I honestly I couldn't. My body just didn't like the meds. Even knowing we changed the meds, my body was like, we're not doing this. So honestly, I cannot tell you, oh yeah, I spent months in meds because I didn't. I tried them. I couldn't. So I just still with the program, the diet, the exercises, all that. I did what I had to do, and doctors say, well, you don't need them anymore. So yeah.
Which ones were they for everyone to also understand?
Oh,
I believe Plaquenil was one of them. Wasn't sulfasalazine was another, I believe.
yes. And there's another one that I just can't remember the name of it. It was
Was it
Meds.
methotrexate?
I think that's the one. I think that's the one. But I
Would
can't
have been.
remember. I swear that I can't remember the name
Yeah.
of that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. So, what was one of the big reasons that you worked with us? What was one of those deciding factors?
Well, my husband was the one watching a lot of testimonials. So he found the program and he was like, I think maybe we need to check this out. And honestly, I was like, if it's going to help, it's going to help. But here's the thing. I didn't have a diagnosis, like a complete, like a real diagnosis. So every single thing that I tried, I went through a lot of programs. Like, I tried different things. I tried physical therapy, I tried diets, I tried this, I tried that, and nothing worked. Once I had the diagnosis, and he started looking and he found the program, I had zero expectations. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I have no expectations whatsoever. I tried different programs, and I will try it, but I don't have expectations. And then he made me watch all these videos about people talking, and I was like, okay, let's try it, and it did work. So I was like, yeah. So for me, I say honestly, the reason it was that I wanted to get better, and I heard, I was listening to this podcast that you had, I don't remember her name, but it was a lady, and she was telling her story about like how she wasn't taking medication. And for me, that was a big thing. I was like, if I can do this without meds, then let's try the program and let's see if it really works. And that was kind of like the major reason why I decided, yeah, let's do it, because I really didn't want to be on meds. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, and I think that came up in our early conversations as well and on the group calls and stuff.
Yes.
And it's quite common, like, gosh, who wants to take medications that can have side effects if you don't have to? I mean, we're not saying anything controversial.
Yeah.
Um, the controversy arises if our symptoms are raging and the doctor says take meds and we say no, even though clearly the symptoms aren't controlled, then, something needs to be adjusted with that plan. But, we spoke, okay, let's go 100% with all the lifestyle changes. And we went with everything, didn't we? We really worked on your stress reduction,
Yes.
really, really persevered with the exercises, even though you and I had to troubleshoot that a lot. The
Yes.
dietary side of things, you were always really good at. You implemented all of the supplementation side of things, the mouth stuff. So there was a lot going on there. What do you think were some of the early wins that you got?
Early wins. My mood. My mood started improving. Even knowing that I still had like the stress, my mood started getting better after the 3 months or so, like that. Oh yeah, sorry. I have my husband here who is actually just making signs, kind of like telling me, "Remember this and remember that." But yes, another thing that we noticed that improved a lot was, and I'm not lying about this, my face features, like my face, like all the inflammation that I had in here, it went away, and we could tell, like we were like, oh wait a second, my face looks, it doesn't look like buffy, it doesn't look like weird. And the yeah, my features actually, like I can tell you, I don't know, like all my movements, even like everything improved a lot. Yes, those started probably around like 3 months into the program. I was already noticing those things. And my gut health. Like I can tell you that I started having like bowel movements, and I started feeling better on my stomach. Also, just the fact that I did notice what things were like triggering me, what foods were triggering me, that was like a big thing. Because as soon as I got rid of some stuff, I was like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to be feeling. Like this is different. Another thing that I will say is my energy levels. They started to get better. Like I wasn't at the beginning, I wasn't able to do a lot of stuff, but little by little, I started getting like more energy. At some point, I was already playing, like I say, playing basketball and doing more cardio, and I was like, "This is awesome! I'm seeing progress." Yeah, I will say yes. Face, less inflammation, definitely. Like my gut health, and like the energy levels and the mood, everything started to getting better. So I will say I noticed a lot of improvements.
Yeah,
After
from,
3 months, yeah.
some of our early, in the coaching portal, I was looking back before we had our conversation.
Yeah.
You had a lot of struggles in those early weeks, because you were carrying forward all this inflammation, struggling to get up and down off the couch, things like this. Certainly the concept of playing musical instruments again, which was one of the big motivators for you, to get well, was really, beyond reach at that point. But
Yeah.
to play basketball now,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah. That was a big thing. Yeah. That was a huge thing. Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, that's amazing. So let's see. What's the future plans for you now? What are you working towards now? There's going to be, you mentioned some bad days it's a 3, but generally it's only a 1 compared to it used to be a 10. What are the things that you're still working on? Because I can say this for myself, and I probably speak for everyone. When you have RA, there's always something you're working on, whether it's be expanding your diet, eating out at restaurants more easily, whether it be getting even stronger at the gym, or whether it be, just trying to eliminate improve the range of motion of a damaged joint or something. There's always something, right? What are
Yes.
the things at the moment that you're focused on, say, over the next year or so?
I will say getting some strength back, even knowing that I'm already in a very good point right now. I want to get stronger. Um, I'll say that one. Definitely keeping the energy levels because that's a constant thing. I mean, if I stop, I feel it. Like I'm like, I can't stop. I have to keep on doing it. It's not something I've noticed that during this time. It's not something that you are gonna just stop doing it and you're gonna feel better just because you did it 1 2 weeks. No, you have to keep on doing it. It's a life thing commitment. Like honestly, with the foods, I've been doing really great. I've been able to go out and eat like at a restaurant, and I don't have flare ups. I don't have flare ups. But then as well, I'm eating always good. And once in a while, I have my cheating time, like when I can go to a restaurant and eat whatever. But I'm always eating really good at home, always. And I'll say kind of like for me, like to keep the energy levels and like the getting stronger. And like you say, the movement on my joints, the one that have been affected, that's something that I've been working, and I'll keep working forever if I have to, because there are days, like I say, when I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit stiff today. I guess I just have to do my exercises. I guess I just have to move a little bit, and that's something that I will continue doing. Like, yeah, I will say that pretty much. I think
Mm.
my husband is telling me like, I think you're missing something.
Do you want to check with him for a second?
What? Am I missing something? He's just laughing. Sorry.
How's
Well, yeah, that's true. He's just saying that even when we go outside, another thing, and that's actually a very good point, is that I don't eat whatever. I don't go outside and eat the most, like greasy stuff. And no, I actually pick the stuff. And if we have to, we talk to the people in the restaurant, and we are like, I just tell them like, excuse me, can you just do me a favor and can you just like take this out, please? I have like a, like restriction, like dietary restrictions. So can you help me with this? And they do. They usually do. When you explain stuff to them, they are like very easygoing. We were at a restaurant, and I actually told I didn't. My husband did. He was like, "Can you do me a favor and instead of putting this in, can you just grill it without anything?" To the point that the cook, the chef, just came out of the kitchen, and he was like, "So you just wanted like plain, like with nothing?" And he was like, "Yes, I, she cannot have all those things. So and he was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, don't worry about it." And they did it. So I realized that talking to people in a very like nice way, it helps a lot because they understand. They do understand. And whenever you go out, if you have to, and you can, of course, pick the healthy thing and ask for the healthy stuff. And they help you with that. So that's something that we've been doing. Like we go out, pick the healthy stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
And I'm not talking about just vegetables. I'm talking like sometimes fish. Sometimes I'm like, oh well, they have fish, and I'm like, can I have the fish, please? They bring the fish, and I don't have flare ups.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been able to increase your range of foods to the point where you can have some foods that don't support the microbiome, and yet you still are able to get by just fine.
Once in a while, yes.
Yeah. Once in a while. Fantastic. That's it. Because if we go back, even if we try and eat those foods cleanly, we are then poking the tiger and living the life of pi, waiting on some problem to arise. Okay. So here are some things that people often raise as concerns or objections for wanting to get help and wanting to get on top of their health once and for all. They say, "Oh, I couldn't eat a plant based diet," which we use. And of course, we use a very unique, specific, original approach to this. Let's bat down some of these objections. If someone said, "Oh, I couldn't eat that way," how do you do it? What would you say?
I had the same problem at the beginning. I didn't think I couldn't do it. It was very hard for me. Try and make it as tasty as you can with what you have. I know it's hard, but there is so much you can do if only you can get on Google and look up for little things. Just, I swear that if you can start like adding little stuffs little by little, you can get so much food that is delicious, and you will not miss meat because I don't miss it. I Even if I have my piece of fish once in a while, I don't miss it. I can live without it. It's fine. I don't need it. It's hard, but try and look for ways to make it good for you, like make it tasty. And one more thing that I will say, once you rewire your brain into thinking is good for you, you start noticing the difference. Like once you start thinking, and instead of being thinking, "Oh, I hate this and it doesn't have taste and I hate it so much," start thinking, "I'm feeling better. It's helping me." And then once that happens, you realize how much you love the food and how much you don't want to eat the rest of the food, because you start noticing all those changes, and you are like you told me once, try and remember the good things instead of all the things that you don't like. I will say that's the most like the major stuff to do. Rewire your brain. Train your brain to start thinking positively instead of all the negative stuff about the food. And have fun with it. Like get in the kitchen and try different things. And if you don't like to cook, honestly, there's always ways to make it fun. There's always ways. Like I don't like cooking. I don't like it. It's not my favorite thing, but my husband does. So he's been having a lot of fun, and he's like, "Okay, if you do this, I promise you it's gonna taste good." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." And I do it, and it's amazing. So he's been kind of like showing me. He sends me stuff, and he's like, "Just try this, try that, add a little bit of this, add a little bit of that," and it makes the difference. But I swear, the main thing is for you to change your thinking.
Yeah, that's right. Couldn't agree more. Wonderful. What about physical exercise? Some people may watch this and say, "Hey, but like you mentioned before, I can barely get out of bed. I can't get off the couch." Some people that we're helping right now, when they started with us, couldn't walk out of their house. Now they're lapping the block. Everything's great. But at the start, what if that's a barrier and they think, "Well, maybe you're young. I can't get off the couch. How could this help me?" How did you get through that? "Oh, it hurts a little to exercise. So should I keep doing it?" problem?
Whew, that's I'm gonna tell you, exercise cannot make it worse. That's the only thing. Exercise cannot make it worse. Like you are not gonna get worse because you are moving. Movement is is a great thing for your body, and it's a great thing for your mind. And In my case, I'm very blessed of having someone by my side that is always pushing me into getting into being better, a better version of me. So, for example, whenever I don't want to wake up in the mornings, he's like, "Okay, let's go. We can do it. Come on, let's go." And he made me wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. every day or 5:30 a.m. And he's like, "Let's go work out." And
Wow.
at the beginning, I was like, "I don't want to do this. It sucks. It's bad. I hate waking up early. I cannot move." But little by little, I noticed that staying, like just laying on bed for a long period of time, made everything worse. Like when I move, my pain starts to get better, like it's less pain, it's less frustration as well, because honestly, just the fact that you have to spend all the time in bed, in the couch, it's very frustrating. It's like you get sad, you get depressed, and that's not helping. That's not helping. So I will say, even if you cannot lift weights, even if you cannot swim, even if you cannot do all that, be grateful about the fact that at least you are alive. That's the first thing. And then just try and remember that you are working on a goal. I feel like this is a very important thing that my therapist, because I had to work with a therapist through all this, told me, remember your goals. And you told me this once as well. Remember your goals. Your goal is to get better. You will probably never be as good as you were before. But that was before. That's on the past. The past is the past. And if you keep living in the past, you will never get out of the bed. That's It's just a sad thing to say, but it's true. And I will say with the exercises, for me at least personally, it's making everything better. And I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I was in bed and I stood in bed for like probably 9 months with a lot of nerve pain, with a lot of stiffness. That was way before I got diagnosed. And I even after I got diagnosed, my neck was like this most of the time, and I was already like very stiff and everything. And doing all the exercises that I've been doing that are in the program, all the little exercises. At the beginning, I was just doing that. I followed. This is what I did. I took it a little bit hard on me because I was like, I'm gonna do something for myself. I'm gonna spend five weeks doing the exercises, and if I reach the 5 6 weeks, I'll get myself something. I'll get myself a book. I'll get myself a toy, whatever I want. I'll just get something for me. And I did that, and it did work because I started noticing the difference in my joints. And then I was like, oh, I can move. It doesn't hurt when I start to play. I'm actually starting to play. And if there's something that I can tell you, is that all those little exercises that I was doing that were in the program made me at some point realize, well, this is getting too easy for me. And I had to start doing something more, you know? I started with bands, and now I'm actually doing weights. So your body is a machine that learns. That's how I feel.
Mm.
It is like your body is a machine. It will learn. If you treat it right, it will learn the right things. But if you treat it bad, it will learn the bad things. So it's on you. Like you have, I heard this once. You have two options. Staying sick is hard. Waking up early and doing exercise and being able to move is hard. Choose your heart.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's a very true thing that you gotta understand. Exercise, just keep that in mind. And if it doesn't work for you and you're like, I'm not doing it, it's just something that I'm not gonna do, honestly, get some affirmations and record yourself. Just record yourself with affirmations and put them on your bed every single night. And just let the affirmations be telling you, I'm strong. I can do this. I can work through the pain. I can take my meds if I have to. I can do this. As soon as you rewire your brain and you start doing those things, you'll realize the benefits on it. All those little things, all those little exercises are worth it. Are completely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Great, great information in there. Thank you. That was just really, really cool. So let's shift across now and talk about these 6-month goals.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read them out one at a time.
Okay.
Before I do this, I want everyone to know you don't have to get up at 5 a.m.
No, yeah.
That's only if you've got a hardcore husband who won't let you sleep because he wants you to get well just as much as you want to get well.
Yeah, I agree. Don't wake up at 5 a.m. Just don't do it. Rest.
Yeah. The exercises can be done at any time. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really, really something I wanted to mention. Now let's get into this. Okay. Here are your 6-month goals, and we do this with everyone. So when we kick off the coaching, we do a complete review, build 6-month goals, build a strategy to get people out of pain as quickly as possible. And often it involves deploying the physical therapy, rolling that out, rolling out the diet, sending you the care package, getting everything in place. Now, these are the 6-month goals that are sitting here in your success journal. And I've got them here. Let's go through this, talk about these ones. First of all, number 1, so much more active again.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Number 2, open the window behind the couch.
Yes. Yes. I'm strong enough to open that window. I can do it. Finally. Yes.
I can walk smoothly.
Yes. Yes. I don't need a stick. I don't need anything. I can finally walk. Yes.
Feel proud of my achievements and my progress.
Definitely. I'm very, very proud of everything I've done. Yes.
No longer feeling guilty about not doing things.
Now, if I have to rest, I take the day and I'm like, well, that's it. Sorry. Yeah.
Open doors without having a pain setback.
Yes. Yes. I can open the doors. Yes.
I can make the bed again without pain.
I don't make the bed, but yes, I can, but I don't do it.
All right, there's only a few more, about 4 more. I can squat down to a chair and back up again without pain.
I don't need a chair.
What do you mean? You can
I
squat
can.
all
Yes. I can do squats. I can, yeah, and I don't need chairs. I don't need no aids to, yep.
Wow. Okay. I can play drums once a week for practice without pain.
I play drums 3 times a week, around like 20 minutes, and that's, yeah.
Amazing. Now, we
Mhm.
had 2 really stretch goals. One was be able to run in 12 months. That was beyond our plan together.
I don't run long distances, but I do runs if I have to. Like whenever I'm playing basketball and stuff like that, I count that as a running because it's bike is pretty much, it's kind of like the same thing, but it's not. But whenever I go out with my dogs, I do run probably 1 block and that's it. So I'm saying I'm getting there. I'm still working on it, but I'm getting there. Yes.
Well, that fits exactly what we said. We said 6 to 12 months. And
Yes.
then here's the last one on the list. Do a pull-up.
Pull-ups. Yes. I can do one.
You can do it.
I can do one. If I have a very good day, I can do 2. But don't ask more because I can't. I need aids and stuff. But I'm still working on it. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So what's it feel like to go through that list of things that we set out for you to achieve, and you've done all of it?
It feels awesome because I had forgotten most of them. And it feels really good. Like I forgot about the window. I forgot about the doors, little things that we just keep for granted until we cannot do them anymore. And now you just made me realize that I can do all those things again. That's something to celebrate.
Yes. I want a video of you, please, to insert at this point at the end of our conversation of you playing drums. Could you get one and send it to me?
Yes, I can. I can do that.
Amazing. Well, let's go out on you playing drums that we'll put at the end of this. Paola, thank you so much for sharing your progress. And I'm so grateful that we got to connect and go through your journey together. It's been very, very uplifting for me and very enjoyable for me to work through what was a lot of stuff that you had going on. And this process, we should let everyone in on as well. We had those days where you would come to the calls and I would say, all right, try this, do this. And you would share that you had frustrations and there were lows, but we kept at it. We kept at it. We kept at it because you'd put these goals in place and we knew that it was worth it. Doing the things is worth it. There's nothing more important than getting your health back.
Yes,
So
I
thank you
agree.
for sharing this time with me.
Thank you. Thank you for all the help and all the patience as well.
Amazing.